Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Shane and yes, I'm so pumped for today. I just got in the mail the new Urban Decay Naked Heat Palette, probably the most controversial palette on the market by far right now. I've been hearing a lot of negative reviews saying that the palette was too ashy or just didn't have any like fantastic shadows, like it wasn't necessarily worth it to buy this time if you had the other Nakeds. I'm obsessed with this palette. As you can see, I just did my makeup in using this palette, which you'll see in just a moment if you want to keep watching. But this is probably one of my favorite Naked palettes by far. It has all shadows that I have just kind of gotten into. I was always so scared of oranges. I was always so scared of reds, but I kind of love this earthy, coppery scheme this palette has going on. I'm a big fan. I think with makeup, it's so personal. I can't sit here and talk about how much I love a product and then have you guys go out and buy the palette or whatever I'm talking about and just expect you to love it as much as I do. I don't have the same skin type as everyone out there. I don't have the same preference in colors as people out there, and I may not have the same preference in makeup. Like, some people prefer a natural look, some people prefer an intense look. I prefer everything under the sun. So I just hate when people are so strayed away from fantastic makeup because of negative reviews, and that's why I always try to just try it out for myself. A subscriber of mine actually sent me a photo of this on my Facebook, and that's how I got it. This was the very first palette I've ever pre-ordered, ever. That's how excited I get about new Naked palettes. I have all the Nakeds except for the Naked 3, which I still want to get my hands on so bad. It's just kind of been on the bottom of my priority because I know eventually one day I want it, but it's not like I need it right this second. But I saw this and I had to buy it. I even told my husband, like, I normally don't buy it right away, but I have to get it right now. So I'm not sure when it's gonna be in stores. I'll actually look that up for you because it may already be. Let me see. Siri, when is the Naked Heat Palette coming out on Sephora.com?
Okay, I found this on the web.
Alright, let me find out for you guys. So I think the pre-order is already out of stock, but don't worry because I know. Okay, so coming soon, launching online, 7/10 at Sephora.com. Which today's the 16th? Wait a minute, and in store 7/13. Okay, so it's already online and in store, but unfortunately it's sold out. I mean, can you imagine if it wasn't? Nakeds go very fast, but they are really good at restocking it too. So if you couldn't get your hands on it as quickly as you wanted, I wouldn't worry too much because I'm sure they're gonna restock quite soon. Enough with my blabbing. So in today's video, we are gonna go ahead and unbox the palette. You guys haven't seen like the full box just yet, so it does come in its own little container here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna open up the palette, we're gonna go through each color, I'm gonna show you guys what they look like, and then for the second half of the video, I'm gonna show you how I got this makeup look right here. So if you wanna see either the unboxing of this palette, the makeup tutorial, or both, then please keep watching, and I'll see you at the end of the video. So here is the gorgeous packaging of our brand new Urban Decay Heat Palette. Immediately big fan of the packaging. It actually comes in like this slip. So let's go ahead and remove the cover so we can go ahead and take a look at the palette itself. Ooh, I'm so excited! Alright, so here is our Naked Heat Palette, brand spanking new out of the box. When I went ahead and took the palette out of the box, you can see that they actually have like this little match picture on the bottom, which I just think adds a little bit of character. And just like the other Nakeds, it does have a magnetic tin packaging, so let's open it up and take a look at the colors. Starting on our far left, we have our very first shade here, which I'm assuming is pretty much the highlight of this palette, and it's called Ounce, and it's an ivory shimmer shade. Next to that, we have Chaser, which the next couple of colors I actually think will be nice crease colors, but this one is a nice light nude matte. Sauce, another great crease color. It's a soft terracotta matte. Low Blow, fantastic name, is a brown matte with an orange undertone. Lumba is a copper shimmer with like a gold shift, so as you kind of move the eyeshadow around a little bit, you can kind of see the gold flecks come and go. He Devil, probably my favorite named shadow out of any of the Nakeds, but this is a nice burnt red. Dirty Talk is a metallic burnt red, so I like how we had the matte burnt red first, and then now we have an option of a metallic. Scorched, which actually I believe was gonna be the original name of this palette, but they didn't know if like everybody would understand what scorched meant, so they changed it to heat. But Scorched is another deep red metallic with gold micro shimmer. Cayenne, we're gonna go with that. It's a deep terracotta matte. En Fuego? Maybe? We're gonna go with En Fuego. It's a burgundy matte. Ashes, which is a deep reddish brown matte. And the last shadow is called Ember, which is our deep metallic copper burgundy. Just like the other Nakeds, it does come with a duo-sided brush. Big fan of this one. And just like the other Nakeds, it does show the logo of which palette it came from. So one side of the brush is like a denser, more flat crease brush. I'm actually not a huge fan of this side, but the other side is like a little pencil brush, a little bit bigger than what I would like, but this is really, really good for some detail work. Full-size mirror, double-ended brush. We're looking pretty good, so let's go ahead and jump right into our makeup tutorial. So now that we've taken a closer look at the palette, I'm gonna go ahead and start my makeup for today. So my face is already moisturized, so I'm just gonna take my little headband here and pull back my hair. This is what I get for having big hair. So I'm gonna quickly prime my face using my Benefits Professional. I'm actually just about out of this stuff, so I'm gonna have to make a trip to Sephora, which I won't complain. For foundation, I've been using this new one from NARS. It's their All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation in the color Light 2. So I'm gonna give this a good shake, and then I'll pump a couple of pumps on the back of my hand. I usually start with 2, and if I feel like I need more, you can always build it back up. Dot it all around the face. Once my foundation is applied and all blended out, I did make sure I blended it down to my neck as well. Next I'm gonna take my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind and just lighten up my highlight point. So we'll go underneath the eyes, my nose a little bit, up to my forehead, and a little bit on my chin. And I'm even gonna bring a little bit underneath my nose because I've been noticing quite a bit of redness there that I want to get rid of, and we'll blend this out as well. I hope you don't mind, but I went ahead and I baked my concealer, so that's sitting underneath the powder right now. I'm gonna quickly go ahead and fill in my brows because I actually have a tutorial coming up for you guys shortly all about how I fill in my brows, because I started using this pomade from Anastasia, so I sort of did a first impression slash how I fill in my brow video, so that will be coming up pretty shortly in the future. So for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna go ahead and quickly fill them in. Brows are filled in, and I've dusted away the extra powder, so now we're gonna move on to the eyes. So I'm first going to prime my eyes by using my Naked Skin concealer in the color Fair. So just applying a little bit on the lids and then blending it out with our finger. This is gonna give us a nice neutral base for the shadows to sit on. Also make sure that you prime underneath the eyes as well. So I don't actually have a game plan for this palette. I've only, briefly taken a look at the colors with you guys. So I don't really know what we're gonna go for today. I do kind of want to use as many colors as I can, so it's probably gonna turn out to be a little bit of a darker look today, but that is okay. Now, like I mentioned in the intro, this palette was very controversial, but I am not gonna formulate any of my opinions off of other people's opinions. I'm gonna let you know how I like the shadows, how I like the palette, and you may or may not agree with my opinion, and that's okay. That's the fun part about makeup. Some you like, some you don't, and the whole part of it is to go out and find stuff that you love. So with that said, we're gonna jump right into this palette. I'm so excited. I'm not even sure where to start. So we're gonna start somewhere. All right, the first. I always get very intimidated by like brand new palettes. You know what, real quick, I'm gonna throw on some chapstick because my lips are getting very dry already, so my lips will have plenty of time to moisturize by the time we're done, ready for lipstick. Okay, they may look a little white because I was using this Burt's Bees ones, but at least my lips feel much better. All right, I think we have a starting place, so let's get to this. I really do want to try out this duo-sided brush as well today. So taking the smaller, denser side, I'm first gonna take this shade here called Cayenne? Isn't that a spice? I'm gonna take a little bit of this powder and tap it off. And I guess I'm gonna start working this on my inner and outer corners. Very unusual for me to start any sort of eyeshadow look not starting in the crease, but you don't always have to. So that's why I like to sometimes start with the lid and work my way up, see what we can build up. Sometimes it's helpful, especially if you don't really know what look we're going for. So just patting these colors again on the outer half, or the outer third, and then the inner third. I must say, I already really like the pigmentation of this. The swatches I saw of this palette were not very good, I've got to be honest, but I feel like a lot of people try to take swatches in one swipe, but who applies eyeshadow in one swipe? So I feel like swatches are better applied if you do a couple of swipes. That way you get a better idea of actually what the pigmentation is gonna look like. This shadow is very easily buildable. I am gonna bring it up a little bit because we're gonna blend this into our crease later. So I'm bringing it slightly over the crease, but again, just kind of smoking it out in the inner and the outer corners. Today's look is definitely gonna be a dark one, but I kind of expected that. You can definitely get some lighter looks out of this palette, you know, if you keep the darker shades just in the crease, but if you apply any dark shades on your lids, it's obviously gonna instantly darken up the look, which I'm okay with. It just might not be your preference. It looks absolutely crazy, and I feel like I've mentioned this in a couple of tutorials, and I feel like it's important, especially if you haven't heard it before, but a lot of makeup tutorials start off by not looking too pretty. So if you're starting off on makeup, or if like you're working with new products you're not really sure how to work with, just go with it. Even if it looks like this, it'll pull together at the end, I promise. Because girl, this looks kind of crazy. I'm not gonna worry too much about blending anymore because we can always go back. I kind of want to, what do I want to do? I want to find a crease shadow. I think next, I ended up just wiping this brush off a little bit, but I'm gonna take a combination of chaser and sauced, and sweep this back and forth in my crease. Oh, I like it. I like this a lot, actually. So I'm blending it back and forth in my crease. I'm just adding a little more color in there, but I'm gonna bring it up a little bit high. I just want this color to poke through once everything is said and done. So we're just blending it, blending it, blending it. Okay, I'm gonna apply the shadow to the other eye, and then I'm gonna wipe the brush off and go back in and continue to blend. I think that's one of the most important parts of any smoky eye that you're trying to recreate, whether it's a classic smoky eye or if you're doing kind of a coppery, burnt red smoky eye like we're doing today. I just feel like the biggest part of any smoky eye is getting that smokiness, and to achieve that requires a lot of blending. So really take your time, because it can look like a hot mess and stay a hot mess if you're not too careful. So just again, take your time, try not to rush if you don't have to, and really get those colors blending out well. Once I have the colors applied, I'm gonna go and flip the brush around and just use the denser crease brush just to blend out the very edges. Flip the brush back over and apply some more product if you have to. Don't be afraid to go back and forth if you have to. Apply product, blend, apply product, blend, apply product, and blend. Once I have that blended, I'm going to go into Ounce a little bit, which is our highlighting shade. It's like a shimmery ivory color. and I'm just going to highlight our brow bone a little bit. We are getting a tiny bit of fallout from this palette, but not much by any means, but I did want to make a note of that. Now we need to figure out what color we're gonna put on the center of our lids. That's why I had left it open. I didn't blend any eyeshadow into that. It would have been covered up anyways. So I'm gonna find myself a flat shader brush, which on the back of my Naked 2 Urban Decay palette, they have one, which was really nice. So we have a couple of really nice metallics. We have Lumber, which was that copper shimmer with like the gold shift color. We have Dirty Talk, which is a metallic burnt red, or we have Scorched, which has like little flakes of glitter in it as well. So I'm gonna, let's see, I'm gonna swatch them really quick side by side on my finger, see what we wanna go with. I think we're gonna take Dirty Talk and Lumber on our brush, but starting off with Dirty Talk first. And I'm just gonna pack this right on the center of our lids. So I feel like Dirty Talk kind of blended in a little too well with the shadows next to each other. I don't know, it's just not standing out as much as I'd like it to. I also didn't wet it, but I didn't want to wet these shadows yet. So I'm gonna try to take a little bit of Lumber next and pack this right on top to see if it gives a little more of a punch. It's a little more shimmery, a little bit lighter, so it's standing out better. So I'm gonna pack this right on top. These are some freaking beautiful shadows. I'm in love. All right, so we have those two colors. Woo, little hair. Those two colors placed on our lid, but I kind of want to do a little bit more. So I think I'm gonna deepen up the crease a little bit. I really want to try out this Enfrago. I wasn't even sure how to pronounce it in the beginning. The Enfrago. I'm gonna go with Enfuego. I'm gonna take a little bit of this again on the little pencil brush. I just want to show you that you can use minimal amounts of brushes to get really nice looks, and I love this brush so far. So tap off any extra, and I'm actually gonna pull up my lid ever so slightly, and I'm gonna concentrate this right in the crease of our lid. But you remember how we didn't bring the dark colors to the center of our lid? So I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time again, just concentrating it in the crease. I'm just sweeping it in a little bit. I'm more so packing than I am sweeping, but I just want it concentrated. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the inner corner, just on the opposite side. Perfect. I think this is giving us just the right amount. And should we do it? Should we try one more color? I think we're gonna take just a tiny bit of Ashes, which is like almost a matte burgundy shade. And I think I'm gonna place this just right in our outer V. I think that Enfresco color did a really nice job darkening it up. Again, I just really wanna try to incorporate as many shadows as we can today. And this is doing its job beautifully. It's adding just a little bit of depth without being too overpowering or darkening up the look too much. Okay, this is really bizarre. So I've had this NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. It was like a gold tone and I can't find it anywhere. Oh, we found it. Okay, so this was the Jumbo Eye Pencil in the color Sparkle Nude. I do have to get, unfortunately, a little pencil sharpener. So I'm just gonna take a little separate brush here and I'm gonna apply this product right to my waterline. Okay, so for my inner tear duct, I think I'm gonna use Ounce, which was just our highlighting shade. I wasn't too sure about it at first. It looked a little bit too white, but I think it actually combined a little bit with that gold shadow I just placed on my waterline, and it actually made a really nice gold shimmer. So I would definitely say, for my preference, I would have enjoyed to see like a gold highlight shade for, you know, especially the inner corner in this palette, but I'm still not complaining. You can only fit so much, so I'm just going to make sure that this inner corner is toned down just a little bit so it doesn't take away from the matte effect of the rest of the shadows. I just want that concentrated on our inner corner to open up the eyes a little bit. I usually don't skip this step, especially if I'm going for a dark look, because I like my eyes to look big and almost dough-like. Whenever I wear dark shadows, or when anyone wears dark shadows, it kind of closes your eyes and it makes you look older sometimes. So I just like to add that highlight to my inner corner to bring back the appearance of youthful, large eyes. So that's definitely just a preference. You don't have to even add, you know, a shimmer in the corner of your eye. It's all up to what kind of look you're going for. I just like that little extra oomph. Actually, even considering, because I really like this NYX Jumbo pencil, all I'm doing is taking some of it on this brush and then dipping it into the color Ounce. But as well as the inner corner, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. So I'm just opening up the entire front of my eye. So originally I was thinking about maybe using He Devil, but I think I'm gonna actually just go back in and use Cayenne, which was like that burnt matte orangey red shade that we used. I think we used it on our lid. I think that was the very first shade that we used. But starting in the outer corner, I'm gonna smoke this toward my inner tear duct, but I'm gonna almost stop where the gold shimmer stopped that we applied. I also think it really helps if you look up into a mirror when you're applying shadow on the bottom lash line to see exactly what it looks like and where it's going. Make sure that it's connecting to your top eyeshadow in the outer corner. Then to smoke this out even more, I'm taking the Heat Duo brush with that pencil brush, and with no extra product, I'm just gonna smoke this out a little bit lower. This is definitely out of my comfort zone, but I'm wearing this to work today, so buckle up, girl, because we're in for a makeup ride. All right, the next part is completely up to you, but I really like adding this. I think it just opens up the eyes a little bit more. So first I'm gonna go right back into Cayenne, but this time with an angled brush, and going right underneath that gold shimmer shade, I'm going to sweep this into a point. Hopefully if I bring you in a little bit closer, you'll be able to see better. But again, right in the inner corner, I am just using my angled brush to create a point. But I'm not bringing it up to my lash line. I'm going underneath that gold shimmer. That, my dear, just makes my eyes look bigger. And I think another part of a smoky eye to make it really pop and make it really look good is just to make sure you don't have any harsh lines. So even the lines I just applied here, I don't want them as noticeable. So I'm just going right back into that little dome brush and I'm just sweeping it ever so slightly, just softening it up a little bit. And I feel like that just helps to maintain that smoky look, but it just widens everything a little bit. We are officially done with shadows from this palette. Oh, I love it. I love everything. I love it. I love it so much. I love it so much. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly throw on my liquid liner. Now while I'm doing my liner, I'm actually keeping it a little bit thinner than I normally would, just because I really want these shadows to be able to show. So I do have a eyeliner tutorial that I link in all of my makeup tutorials, so I don't have to show you every single time I decide to do a makeup look. So that is down below if you want to check it out. Again, just keep in mind that it's the exact same tutorial. I'm just making the line a little bit thinner. I think I'm actually going to, in the inner corner, just extend the liner out just a little bit to give me more of a cat eye effect. I just applied glue to my Sally Hansen's number 615 lashes, so I'm gonna let those go and get tacky, and I'm gonna quickly go ahead and bronze up my face using my Cocoa Contour Palette by Too Faced. And I'll see you guys in a sec. So my face is all nice and bronzed up now. I'm actually gonna skip out on blush for this look. I just didn't wanna add too much color to my face. We are gonna highlight in just a moment, but my lashes are ready to be popped on. Oh my gosh, I just realized I forgot to apply mascara first, but that's okay. I was like, something's not quite right, and I did apply a little too much glue on this lash, but that's okay. So I'm gonna allow these to get tacky and we'll have to revisit them in just a minute. Moving on to my lips, I knew I wanted to keep my lips rather simple. I could definitely go with like a red or like a bright orange, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep the rest of the face quite natural. So I did come across these two melted metals by Too Faced. One's a melted metal and then one's a regular melted. The regular melted is in the color Chihuahua, and this actually may or may not work, I'm not sure. It may be a little too pink. So the metal one that I have is in the color Debutante, so I'm going to also swatch that. And this is a much lighter peachier pink. I think the combination of the two might actually be nice, so I'm gonna try that. So I'm gonna start with Chihuahua. Kind of has an odd smell to it. I haven't used these in quite a while because I have an obsession over mattes, but the color is really beautiful. I just kind of forgot about the smell. Once Chihuahua is on, these are not matte shades, so they're not gonna like dry, so I can put this right over it. So we'll see how I like this. I actually kind of like this. I'm gonna have to blot though. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Ooh. I actually really like that. It just had to be toned way down, but I love it. Actually, it wasn't toned. I had too much product. So let me quickly finish up with my eyes. I'm just gonna apply mascara to my top and bottom lashes, and then I'm gonna go over my lash band again just to hide the lashes a little bit. And then, oh, we need a highlight too, so I'll be back in just a sec. So normally highlighter wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I did want to show you a quick trick that I've been doing recently that's kind of new. So I'm going to take my Becca's Champagne Pop highlighter, and then I'm going to take a little bit of coconut oil. So coconut oil does come in a solid, but if you take a little bit on your fingertips, and I do mean a little bit, and you kind of like work it between your fingers, it starts to melt. And then I like to place just a little bit in my pot here, and it just intensifies the highlight like crazy, but it also gives it a consistency where it almost melts into your skin. And I found that with highlighters that have that oily consistency, I think they use maybe shea oil, it just kind of melts, and I feel like it looks much more natural than just, I don't like my skin to look too textured. I just want that, you know, dewy, I just came out of the sun, my skin is healthy kind of glow, not just, I just went crazy with the highlighter glow. So this is just the way that I achieve it, and I wanted to share this new trick with you guys. So I'm gonna quickly go ahead and highlight. I do use my finger quite a bit for highlighter. If I'm not using my finger, I just use my little fan brush. So I can probably go in now with the fan brush and just blend this out a little bit more. But I'm gonna finish highlighting, and then I'll see you guys when the look is complete. All right, you guys, so this is our completed look, and I must say I'm so happy with this. This actually reminds me a lot of the look that I did with my Get Ready With Me date night I did maybe a couple of months ago, and I totally did not mean to like make anything similar at all. It happened. I happened to use similar colors to the ones that we tried today. So my overall opinion about this palette, I love it. I love it just as much as I love the other Naked palettes. As I mentioned in the beginning, this may not be for everybody. I can definitely see myself working with this. My eyelashes doing something crazy. I can see myself using every color in this palette. There's some palettes that I've bought in the past where I'll use all of maybe 3 colors, and then the rest of them I just don't touch. What I love about this palette is that I don't see a single color that's going to go to waste in my hands. So do I think it was worth it? Absolutely. I'm a huge fan of Urban Decay in general, and I love their Naked line. I know some people again are kind of over it, but I take pride in not going with trends. If I see something that I want to get my hands on, I do look at reviews, but I don't take them too close to heart. I like to try to be the devil's advocate and try them out for myself before I actually make opinions. But you guys know I would never ever recommend you anything unless I loved it, and I really, really, really do love this palette. So even if you've heard bad things about it, I I don't think it would hurt to get your hands on it and try it out for yourself. And wherever you get it, just make sure that you follow the return policy and you're not gonna run into any problems if you don't enjoy it. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I was so happy I had my hands on this palette. Please go ahead and leave a big thumbs up on my video. It definitely helps me out a lot. And if you don't want to miss any new videos, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button you're gonna see on the screen. And I hope to see you guys in my next one. Bye!